By the BBC. Okay, we gotta watch this.
Grew up in the aftermath of the Second World War. In 1945, the US, the UK and the Soviet Union met to shape the new world. 7 years on, he was born in what was then Leningrad and is now St. Petersburg. By the 70s, Putin had studied law and then joined the Russian Secret Service, the KGB. At this time, the Soviet Union's influence reached across the communist nations of Eastern Europe. And in the 80s, Putin was posted to Dresden in East Germany. From there, he witnessed the fall of the Berlin Wall, the fall of communism. This was a visceral example of people power. To Putin, though, the demise of the Soviet Union was the greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the century.
I don't know why people say this in the fucking West. Like, it's demonstrably true. Literally just look at like what has happened to the life expectancy of people living in post-Soviet countries and then compare it to the fucking USSR. If you want to understand like how devastating it was, like, yeah, the USSR through its history certainly had its fucking moments where, you know, things were not great, especially for Ukrainians, obviously. But it's wild to fucking consider this as like anything but an abject failure. Oh no, it's so much greater that we were able to literally rob this entire fucking country blind and put our oligarchs in positions of power. That's so much better, dude. It's so much better that that happened to Russia, and now it's just like a country whose economy revolves around fucking making dash cam videos with you know, with the youth unemployed, doing absolutely fucking nothing. And we're just like further starving them too. You're a fucking piece of shit for making fun of his ears, dude. You're just making chatters with massive, dummy, thick elephant ears, self-conscious.
And while that demise was negotiated, Putin was heading home to find a place for himself in the new Russia. Russia's president...
Dude, we're talking about the same century as World War II. That's the point about his quote. The demise of the Soviet Union was the greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the century. Yeah, no shit. You know who fucking absolutely pushed you know who fucking championed the World War II victory? The USSR. What the fuck do you mean? The Soviet Union. Of course he's not going to say, but what do you think he's going to say? The fucking Third Reich was the worst. The destruction of the destruction of Nazi Germany was the greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the century? No, that he sees that as a fucking dub.
4 months XOXO.
That's awesome. Like, he thinks it's that's great, probably. I would assume. Most people think that that's great.
Yo.
This geopolitical catastrophe of the century. And while that demise was negotiated, Putin was heading home to find a place for himself in the new Russia. Russia's president in the 90s...
Even if you don't like the Soviet Union and like the post-Soviet client state systems of the 1990s in Eastern Europe, you'd have to admit that the fall of the Soviets is an epic choke. Yeah, 100%. 1,000%. It was a disaster of epic proportions. I don't know. I mean, one could even make the argument that, like, you know, what's going on today is a consequence of that, good or bad.
Boris Yeltsin would help him do that. He made Putin head of the security services. Then Putin was elected prime minister. Then, in 1999, Yeltsin resigned. Putin was president. And his way of operating was clear from the start.
Tightening the grip over media was one of the first things that he did, and also the lack of genuine opposition, because his critics either have been in exile or dead or are facing prosecution.
Putin's focus on his own power and wealth was relentless. By 2008, when his 2 terms were up, Dmitry Medvedev replaced him as president, but Putin became prime minister and everyone knew who was in charge. By 2012, he was back as president again. And Putin's indifference to democracy is matched by his view of sovereignty. In 2008, Russia invaded...
Oh, shit. No. Oh, it's Georgia. Okay, I was gonna say. I thought this was. I thought it was Chechnya. I was gonna say everything that happened then is TOS. You see some fucking grainy footage, it's like it's a wrap. Georgia too, but like.
Georgia to support separatists. In 2014, Russia annexed Crimea from Ukraine. It supported separatists in eastern Ukraine. And in 2018, a former Russian Secret Service operative was poisoned in Salisbury. The UK says Russian intelligence was responsible.
11
to
months.
Putin,
Wow,
the
we're
rules are for
almost a
him
year.
to make. He said as much himself.
Why doesn't Putin move his right arm when he talks? He's a gunslinger, as they say. They say that when he walks, he doesn't move his right arm, not when he talks.
I hope no one will cross Russia's red line, but in each case, we are the ones who will decide where the red
I
line
guess he's not.
is.
I mean, he's moving his right arm right there. There you go. But when he's walking, he doesn't move his right arm. And that is because journal from 1990. Oh, life expectancy of Russian men falls to 58. The transition to market economies in many post-communist societies of the former Soviet Union and other former Eastern Bloc countries in Europe has produced a demographic collapse. A recent report by the United Nations Development Program has found. Among the most serious findings is a 4-year drop in life expectancy among Russian men since 1980, from 62 years to 58. The development program's report also noted significant drops in life expectancy in Armenia, Belarus, Bulgaria, Latvia, Lithuania, and Romania. The immediate cause of the rising mortality, said the report, is the rise in self-destructive behavior, especially among men. Old problems such as alcoholism have increased. Drug misuse, relatively new problem in the former communist blockos.
7 months hearts.
Communist blocs have risen dramatically in recent years. The report transition 1999 stated the suicide rates have climbed steeply too, by 60% in Russia, 80% in Lithuania, and 95% in Latvia since 1989. Rising poverty, unemployment, financial insecurity, corruption. Whereas only 4% of the population of the region said incomes equivalent to $4 a day or less in 1988, that figure had climbed up to 32% by 1994. In addition, the transition to a market economy is accompanied by lower living standards, including poorer diets, a deterioration of social services, and major cutbacks in health spending. Now, another part of the fucking USSR, like Cold War era propaganda was that the CIA openly admitted at the time that the Russian diet was healthier than the way that they presented it in the media. Uh-oh.
At
I'm
HasanAbi,
effing again.
Did you see that a Russian strike destroyed a Holocaust memorial?
Hold on. It just happens every now and then. It's fine. Refresh, just refresh. I'm back. We're back. It was a quick F. It was a brief F, even though it's fucked up. I don't know what that was about. It's fine now, but notice how that paper is over 20 years old. Oh, I said the CIA openly mentioned that the Russian diet was much healthier than the way that they presented it in the media. Like everybody always
At HasanAbi,
says,
love you, king, and keep up your awesome work and ignore the haters. Hassle.
everybody always fucking says, like, oh, dude, you know, Russians, breadlines, Russia, breadlines, USSR, breadlines, Holodomor. It's like, there were gigantic missteps, certainly. And with
Thank you for all that you do.
serious, a
You've
serious
opened my
fucking
eyes to the
human toll.
systems I've been nose blind to. Keep up your amazing work.
Why do you keep fiddling with your cyanide tooth? That's a good one, dude. Yeah, I have a cyanide tooth. You know, because I'm a Putin asset. Ukraynalı Silah Kuvvetleri. What is going on? Oh,
Peace to
shit.
Ukraine, free Palestine.
What the fuck? Okay, that was weird. That was actually weird this time. That was a big F. That was a big F on my...
Do you think that Western people would reconsider the consequences on the global south now that they have seen them on European people? I hope so.
I don't know what's going on. Stop saying time to reset the router, okay? I don't know what the fuck is going on.